Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. Donny van der Beek will try and force a January transfer away from Manchester United following his Villarreal meltdown. Donny van der Beek visibly furious with Solskjaer as he's left on the bench in Manchester United's win over Villarreal. And I've said so many times that Solskjaer needs to start Donny van der Beek, especially in the Premier League. Van der Beek played against West Ham in the Carabao Cup the other week. He played the full 90 minutes and he put a very good performance out. He also played against Young Boys in the Champions League. He got taken off at half time in that game, and I heavily criticised Solskjaer for that because in the first half of that game Donny van der Beek was our best player. The other week Don Hutchinson came out and told Donny van der Beek that he must leave Man United to save his career. And a few weeks ago, Paul Ince said that Van der Beek has got absolutely no chance of staying at Man United. Solskjaer rejected Donny van der Beek's exit in the summer transfer window because it said Everton were close to signing him on loan. Earlier on in the season, Van der Beek's agent did a lot of talking, and Van der Beek obviously told Solskjaer his best position. Van der Beek reckons he'd be best served operating as a number 6 or as a number 8. And don't forget, Van der Beek spoke about his Man United future in an exclusive interview with Rio Ferdinand. This season is Van der Beek's second full season at Man United. Last season he made 36 appearances in all competitions, but most of them appearances came from the bench. I recall Van der Beek starting just 4 games in the league last season. But I haven't really had much of a perception on him at Man United because he hasn't been given enough game time, but in general he's a good player. We got Van der Beek for £40 million with add-ons included. He's got a contract with Man United till 2025 and he's versatile. He can play in 3 different roles. Now, Cristiano Ronaldo can't keep saving Solskjaer at Manchester United. Ronaldo scored the winning goal against Villarreal in the 95th minute of stoppage time. That's 5 goals in 5 games for Ronaldo. It was his 178th appearance in the Champions League. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer came out and said that he's grateful to Ronaldo for the winner, but Solskjaer said we was lucky. Obviously, Ronaldo. What?
If you get ready, we'll go down to Chatham's edges.
Alright. Ronaldo wants to retire at Man United. and then coach Cristiano Jr. in the Red Devils youth team. Prior to the Aston Villa game last weekend, Solskjaer said he believes Ronaldo can keep playing at Man United into his 40s. Ronaldo is 36 at the moment. But yeah, Ronaldo has done very, very well since he's come back in. Ronaldo has already hinted that he's looking to stay at Man United beyond his current contract. Ronaldo's under contract with Man United until 2023. There's an option of a further year. Ronaldo receives £480,000 a week, so he's the highest earner at Man United. Obviously Ronaldo wears the number 7 shirt, and we got him for 19.8 million with add-ons included. Greatest player though of all time. He's won 32 major trophies in his playing career, including 5 Ballon d'Ors. And did really, really well in his first spell at Man United. Obviously scored 118 goals in 292 games in all competitions. And obviously won 3 Premier League titles, won the Champions League, won the FA Cup, won 2 League Cups, and won the FIFA Club World Cup. And in his first spell he endured 6 years. So there you go. And like I said, I'm expecting Man United to sell quite a few players next year. So obviously Donny van de Beek is one of them. I'm expecting Manchester United to sell Anthony Martial. Anthony Martial is not good enough to represent the club. Martial is finished at Manchester United. Obviously, it said the other week that Man United are ready to sell Anthony Martial in January. And Man United are ready to accept offers of 40 million. Well, before the start of this season, it said Solskjaer refuses to sell Anthony Martial because he remains part of his plans. Now, Barcelona are considering making a move for him next year. Martial has been a long-term target for Tottenham. It said Martial is open to joining another Premier League club. Atletico Madrid were also in for him last summer. Don't forget, Martial could have left us on deadline day in the summer transfer window because he rejected the chance to join Lyon on loan. Martial has been at Manchester United for 6 years. He's got 3 years left on his contract. He scored 78 goals in 264 games in all competitions. We got him in a deal worth 58 million from Monaco back in 2015. Last season, he was out with a knee injury for a while. Solskjaer was the one that gave him that number 9 shirt. There's a good chance that we'll offload Jesse Lingard next year. Jesse Lingard obviously came off the bench the other week and scored the winning goal against West Ham, and it was a very good goal as well. Lingard obviously played in the Carabao Cup against West Ham. Obviously came on against Villarreal and got the assist for Ronaldo's winning goal. Solskjaer did say a couple of weeks ago that Lingard will be a Man United player next season because he said he's red through and through. Lingard's current contract at Man United expires next year. A few weeks ago, Lingard rejected a new Man United contract offer over playing time concerns. Lingard's been part of the club for a long time. Solskjaer did say earlier on this season that Lingard remains part of his plans despite the ongoing speculation. Last season, Lingard enjoyed a 4-month loan spell with West Ham and he made an impact. Edinson Cavani, he could also leave in January. If he doesn't leave in January, he'll leave at the end of the season. Can't say I want him to leave though because Cavani has made a fantastic impact since he's come in. Cavani came back from injury not so long ago. Back in May, he signed a 1-year contract extension with Man United and he's on over £200,000 a week. Don't forget, on deadline day in the summer transfer window, Barcelona enquired about getting Edinson Cavani. I think Barcelona are going to reignite their interest in January. Cavani's got a good pedigree behind him, look at the amount of trophies he won when he was at PSG. I'm expecting Juan Mata to leave next year. He'll leave in January or at the end of the season when his contract expires. Earlier on this year, Juan Mata signed a 1-year contract extension. Juan Mata doesn't get in our team really, does he? And he's lost that yard of pace, plus he's ageing up. But despite that, he has had a good career at Man United. Mata has been with us now for like 7.5 years. Brought him in under the David Moyes era, got Juan Mata in a deal worth 40 million from Chelsea back in 2014. At the first part of last season, he rejected an 18 million a year contract offer to play in Saudi Arabia. Phil Jones, I'm expecting us to offload him next year. Phil Jones has always been inconsistent, doesn't get in our 11. Jones obviously was out of an knee injury for a while, but he's now back. He said when the summer transfer window was open that Phil Jones is set to stay at Man United for this season after Solskjaer told him he remains part of his plans. Jones is the only outfield player that's still with us from the Ferguson era. This season is his 11th season at Man United. So he's been a long servant. Tellez could offload him as well next year, because Tellez doesn't really get into our team. Tellez did play against Villarreal, only because Luke Shaw was absent. And Tellez put a good performance out against Villarreal, scored a very good volley. He also put a good performance out against West Ham in the Cup. The reason we brought Tellez in was to provide competition for Luke Shaw, but we've seemed to get the best out of Luke Shaw since Tellez has come in. Got Tellez in a deal worth 15.4 million from Porto. He came back from injury not so long ago. Diego Dalot, good chance we'll offload him next year. Dalot is our backup right back to Wan-Bissaka. Dalot played against Villarreal, but I thought he endured a very, very poor game. The reason Dalot played against Villarreal is because Wan-Bissaka couldn't play because he was suspended. Dalot also played against West Ham in the Cup. He was quite good against West Ham in the Cup, to his credit. Last season Dalot had a loan spell with AC Milan, so reflecting on that, he gained some experience, and we got Dalot 3 years ago from Porto, paid 19 million for him. He's got a contract with Man United until 2023. And we could also offload Eric Bailly in January as well. But yeah, it was good that Manchester United beat Villarreal. We was poor for the vast majority of the game, but all that matters is we got the win. It was good to see Man United get back to winning ways, because obviously prior to the game against Villarreal, we lost 3 of our last 4 games in all competitions. And it was good to see Man United get revenge on Villarreal from last season's Europa League final, because last season Villarreal beat Man United in the Europa League final 11-10 on penalties. Solskjaer has been under pressure, and there is still some Man United fans that are Ollie out, despite us beating Villarreal. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's job is safe for now, because obviously the Man United board retain full support for Solskjaer. Solskjaer got very good backing in this year's summer transfer window. John Murtough backed him. John Murtough is our director of football, and we certainly made the right decision getting a director of football in, because I did mention that's one of the structural changes we needed at the club. Also, Darren Fletcher backed Solskjaer, and we made the right decision recommending Darren Fletcher back in. Darren Fletcher knows the club through thick and thin, because he endured 2 decades as a player for Man United, and surprisingly our owners, the Glazers, backed Solskjaer, but only because they'd been persuaded to, because towards the end of last season, the Glazers were planning to scrap the Champions League for that European Super League, and reflecting on that, there was United fans protesting against the Glazers at Carrington. Then obviously there was United fans protesting against the Glazers outside Old Trafford. But Solskjaer did reveal that the Glazers apologised. He said towards the end of last season that the Glazers could have been forced to sell Man United, but for only £4 billion. The reason they've been one of the biggest issues at the club for a long time is because they've put Manchester United into so much debt. The Glazers have been with us for 16 years, bought the club for 500 million back in 2005. But Manchester United enjoyed a very good summer transfer window. Obviously made 4 signings. Brought Tom Heaton in on a free from Aston Villa. Brought Jadon Sancho in from Borussia Dortmund. Brought Rafael Varane in from Real Madrid. and re-signed Cristiano Ronaldo after 12 years. We spent around 141 million in this year's summer transfer window. We only managed to sell one player in the summer transfer window, and that was Daniel James. Sold him to Leeds for 25 million. The reason we sold him is because we re-signed Cristiano Ronaldo. We loaned a few players out in the summer transfer window. We loaned Ethan Laird, Brandon Williams, Andres Pereira, Axel Tuanzebe, Tahith Chon and Facundo Pellistri. I was disappointed that we didn't sign a midfielder in the summer transfer window. I'm hoping we can sign a midfielder in January or next summer. But you know, this season is Solskjaer's third full season as Man United manager. And I said at the start of this season that this season was going to be absolutely massive for him because he's got big expectations to exceed. Solskjaer has to win a trophy, I'd say, within the next 12 to 18 months to basically save his job. He's not yet won a trophy as Man United manager. We haven't won a trophy since 2017. That's nowhere near good enough to our standards. A few weeks ago, Solskjaer did mention that we must leave a legacy of silverware. Well, Solskjaer's ambition for this season is to win the Premier League. We haven't won the Premier League since 2013. That's 8 years ago now. And we should be winning the league, analysing our squad, because it's a title-winning squad, so there's no more excuses. And even earlier on this season, Solskjaer told his Man United squad that it's better than the 1999 treble-winning team that Ole was part of. You know, if Solskjaer was to eventually get sacked, who would come in to replace him? Now, obviously, there has been Man United fans demanding Antonio Conte in to replace him. There's also been some Man United fans demanding Zidane in. You know, my two biggest concerns about Solskjaer is that he hasn't got a proven pedigree as a manager. Because obviously before he was with us, he was at Molde. He won a few Norwegian titles at Molde, but they're not a big club. He enjoyed 2 spells with them. And before then he was at Cardiff, and his record at Cardiff was absolutely disastrous. The reason he got sacked from Cardiff is because he got them relegated. And my other big concern about Ole is his decision making, because analysing the vast majority of the games he's managed at Man United, he's been tactically naive. There's a lot of United fans that have got reservations about Solskjaer's decision making. So there you go. But reflecting now on Solskjaer's being Man United manager, he has gained some managerial experience and he has learnt quite a bit on the job, but there's still plenty of things Ollie's got to learn. What?
Getting dressed.
Yeah, I'm getting
dressed. You have
dressed.
to get bus at 2 to see them silly cunts.
I'm getting dressed, yeah.
Can I all that?
I'm getting dressed, yeah. Yeah, there's still plenty of things he's got to learn, because he's still a young coach. You know, in the summer, Solskjaer signed a new contract with the club until 2024. There's an option of a further year, and we made a mistake giving him that new contract. Because he won't see it out, and I think a lot of United fans will agree with me on that aspect. Solskjaer has been in charge of Manchester United for almost 3 years. But whatever happens regarding Solskjaer, will always adore him, because at the end of the day, he's a club legend. He enjoyed 11 years as a player for Man United. He flourished under Sir Alex Ferguson's guidance. Solskjaer got appointed in December 2018 to replace Mourinho. He's been permanent Manchester United manager since March 2019. These things I've got to give Solskjaer credit for. I didn't expect Solskjaer to do as well as he has done, so in that aspect I'm shocked. You've got to say he's done a good job to say the current squad he was left with when he got appointed in as Man United manager, and Solskjaer knew when he'd taken over the reins at Man United it was going to be a massive job, and he knew he had a lot to do. Solskjaer has more or less given everybody their chances to express themselves, including the young players. I like the way Solskjaer develops the youth. Solskjaer has signed 14 players as Manchester United manager. He has made some good signings, and we've spent like 441 million so far under the Solskjaer era. Solskjaer's also got rid of a lot of players since he's come in, which he knew he had to do. He's got rid of players permanently. He's also loaned quite a few players out. You can say that progress has been made under Ole. Because obviously Ole's got us to semi-finals. He got us to 3 semi-finals in his first full season. He got us to the EFL Cup semi-final last season. He got us to the FA Cup quarter-final last season. Last season he got us to the Europa League final, and that was his first major final as Man United manager. So there you go, and last season Ole got us a second place finish, and in his first full season got us a third place finish. So what Solskjaer produced in his first full season, in his second full season, he's looking to build on that this season. So they're the things, I've got to credit Ole for. Solskjaer is our best manager since Ferguson. He's our 4th permanent manager since Ferguson. Since Ferguson we sacked 3 managers. Obviously we sacked David Moyes after 10 months. Moyes is the worst manager we've ever had. We finished 7th under the David Moyes era. We sacked Louis van Gaal after 2 years. We did win the FA Cup under Louis van Gaal. And we sacked Jose Mourinho after 2.5 years, despite him winning the Europa League, the League Cup and the Community Shield in his first season. Mourinho also got us a second place finish in his first season, so you can say Mourinho did enjoy one good season at Man United, but the reasons it didn't work out under Mourinho is because he had bad disputes with the top players, bad disputes with the board, and in general the board weren't backing the signings that Mourinho wanted to recommend in. So there you go. But like I said to you, we haven't been the same team since Ferguson retired, and a lot of United fans predicted it was all going to go wrong when Ferguson retired. No one will replicate what Ferguson did at the club. Ferguson enjoyed what a 27-year tenure at Man United, was a very long-serving manager. Ferguson won 30-odd trophies, including 13 Premier League titles, but Fergie didn't settle in straight away because he didn't win out in his first 4 years at Man United. But yeah, we know that Ferguson brought success to the club. And we must have brought a good 40-odd players in now since Ferguson retired. Our squad is worth around 805 million. It's like the 3rd most expensive squad in world football. So anyway guys, that's everything to update you today. Drop me comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless. See you all again very, very soon.